So in my last video, I said that Augusta is the most restrictive character in Wuthering Waves, and judging by the like to dislike ratio, it kind of seems like some people really didn't agree with this take. And you know what? They're not wrong to disagree, since what I was supposed to say is that Augusta's team building is the most restrictive in Wuthering Waves. However, I don't think I was wrong to say that Augusta is also the most restrictive character in the game. Kind of. Hey, just let me cook for a second, okay? So in today's video, I want to respond to a couple of comments that gave their takes and counter arguments to my take that I had in my last video. So without taking up any more of your time, this is Augusta, the most restricted character in Wuthering Waves, Part 2. So the first comment we're going to be looking at is from this commenter named Pinkish174, which says,
Rage bait 7 out of 10 when she's the most free-to-play main DPS released on these past months, when Xian Weapon, Anwar Tefi, Yinlin, Florina, Shorekeeper can't work for her. LMAO. You say Yinlin and Shorekeeper's pay to win for new players. Sure, you know is going to be her best in slot, but majority of old players already have Shorekeeper and Yinlin, which gives them a choice to either pull for Yuno or not.
Now this comment is just demonstrably false. Augusta is nowhere near the most free-to-play main DPS released within 2.0, and I can happily prove that. But before I do, I have to establish that Augusta has only 2 characters she can synergize with, those being Mortefi and Yinlin. Now I did say you could use Krolova on Augusta's team in my last video, but that's just not the case anymore. And that's solely because Hecate and Augusta physically cannot work together, and that's all because of Augusta's ultimate. If you've played with Augusta, then you know that when you use her Bankai domain expansion, it basically becomes Acheron's ultimate from Honkai Star Rail, where only her and said enemies are on the field, which means if you try to use Hecate before using Augusta's ultimate, then Hecate will just cease to exist in her ult. Meaning that Frolova and Augusta just can't really work well together. Anyways, the max teams you can use with both Mortefi and Yinlin for Augusta are 4, 2 for both sides because Farina and Shorekeeper exist. Wait, did I say Farina? Verena and Shorekeeper exist. Anyways, let's get straight into debunking Pinkish's comment about Augusta being the most free-to-play main DPS. So, the first main DPS we're going to be looking at is Carlotta. Now, Carlotta has synergy with 5 characters, with 2 of those 5 characters being free-to-play characters, and the max teams you can get from these characters by mixing and matching are 7 teams. Now, 7 teams is already vastly more compared to Augusta's 4 teams. Frolova is up next, and she has synergy with 6 whole characters, meaning that the total amount of possible teams she can get from these characters are 10. 10 possible teams compared to Augusta's 4 teams. Zani has synergy with 4 characters and can be put into 9 possible teams with these characters. And look, I could keep going, but I think I got my point across. Augusta is actually the least free-to-play main DPS that's been released in the past few months. This goes for both team building and for weapons as well, seeing as she only has 4 weapons. Next up is this comment from Phoenix Fire, which says,
I don't understand why you think Augusta's free-to-play situation sucks. Mortefi is the heavy attack buffer, which is equivalent to Sanhua's basic attack buff. It's very accessible to free-to-play players.
And I do agree with Mortefi not only being really accessible to free-to-play players, but also being the Sanhua of heavy attack scaling characters. However, just because Mortefi is really good for Augusta doesn't make her situation any more great for both free-to-play and pay-to-win players. And if we look at Camilla, who is the basic attack scaler in this game, she has synergy with a total of 4 characters. However, I'm using Lupa, who isn't a part of those 4 on my Camilla team. Why? Because Lupa has a lot of things in her kit that can greatly benefit Camilla damage-wise. Camilla, even though she scales off of basic attack, can still be used with characters that most wouldn't deem to be able to synergize well with her. And this cannot be said with Augusta due to her ultimate and the lack of heavy attack scaling characters, on top of the lack of electro characters that can work well with her. Now, I need y'all to strap in real quick because this comment from Ali9624 is quite long, so just please bear with me, okay?
Is this video actually bait? I don't know. Anyway, I disagree with Augusta's being the most restrictive character, as Carladia and Zani exist, and even Jinxie to some extent. Heavy attack buffers are sufficient with 3 as of this patch, including This is the character's buffers for your reference. Zigzag attack buffs, Sanhua, Roxia, Lupa. Resa skill buffers, Tauchi, Lumi, Sheja, Brand, Cantarella. Resin's liberation buffers, Jianzin, Yilin, Changli. Heavy attack buffers, Mortafi, Filova, Universal buffers, Baiji, Verena, Shorekeeper. Discord, Yuhu. Negative statuses, Phoebe, Confession, Rover, well, I guess they meant to say Arrow. Rover, Chakona. Also, Mortefi is not the only best for Jian, as Chakona exists, with 48% arrow damage bonus. Come on now. Your suggestion for to be strongly tailed to Gusa is very bad from the consumer's perspective, and I hope they never go that way after Zani. Either way, is unfortunately tailed to Augusta based on her recent kit reveal. Her domain can buff all attribute damage with damage bonus, which sounds universal. However, it can only be activated when the active character gains a shield up to 10 times, 4% attribute damage bonus, each tailored to 40%, which Augusta can utilize fully with her constant shield gain. No shield, no damage bonus. It sucks, but as you said, money is money.
Now, most of this comment has already been proven to be false, especially with the fact that Zani and Cardadia are more restrictive compared to Augusta. Now, if you want to say that their damage is being restricted because of Arrow Erosion and Spectral Frazzle, then sure. However, in every other category like team building and such, absolutely not. Zani can be in 9 possible teams, while Cardadia can be put into 5 teams, 2 with characters having nothing to do with Arrow Erosion. The only reason Zani is in the position of needing Spectral Rover is because she lacks any physical way to apply Spectral Frazzle, unlike Cardadia. And although I'm not a huge fan of these debuffs don't nearly restrict Zani and Cardadia like how you're making it out to be. Sure, Zani misses out on potential crazy damage without Phoebe, but as someone who's cleared a hologram on the hardest difficulty without Phoebe, I honestly think it's not that big of a deal. So overall, Augusta is a DPS who has some of, if not the worst, team building restrictions due to her fairly unique ultimate and because of a lack of overall characters that can benefit her in combat. And I just wanted to let you all know that this is by no means an attack on any of these commenters. I love having little debates like these, so I recommend leaving more comments like these if there's room for discussion. And yeah, that is going to be it for this video. I honestly don't know why I thought there was more comments, but I guess that's just me having some screws loose. Anyways, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. My Discord server is live right now, so make sure to check that out whenever you can. And I will see you all in the next Wuthering Waves video. Signing off.
I've been so tired. I don't wanna fight, but you're a liar. I need your help, cause the situation's dire. I'm so sick of using people to get higher.